I want to know, can a lifted heavy-duty pickup truck still work like a true heavy-duty?
Well, we've got to test it on the Ike to find out, but what's this trailer weigh?
Well, we're pulling just over 20,000 pounds with a Ford F-350 with a high-output power-stroke diesel. But this is not just any truck.
Oh, it's that Elevation.
Yes, Elevation Black Edition. So let's take it on the world's toughest towing test and see how it does.
And it's not even snowing.
Well, it's not coming down. I recently did an interview with some industry experts about modifying your pickup trucks and how it affects payload and towing ability. This truck is riding on a slight suspension lift. We'll talk about the suspension in a second, but it's rolling up on these larger than stock wheels and tires. This is a 20-inch wheel, and this is a 37-inch tall, technically 37 by 13 and a half. So it's tall and pretty wide. BF Goodrich KO2 snow-rated tire. So this wheel and tire package is pretty heavy. It will reduce our payload a bit, so we need to pay special attention to how we load this gooseneck trailer. We're popping out of Eisenhower Tunnel on the way down.
At 35 miles an hour.
Yes, because we are over 26,000 pounds. So we have to go slower.
Yeah, we got to stay in a slow lane forever. It's going to be interesting to see how this works. We did the F-550 from an Elevation.
Yes.
And, that was great. It did all kinds of things, but this now has a high output diesel.
Yeah, it does.
Power stroke.
So right now, I set the speed using my brake at the very top of Eisenhower Tunnel, Ike Gauntlet. Ooh, downshift it for me.
How many RPMs is that?
That's almost 4,000 RPM.
Whoa!
3,800 RPM.
We redlining it yet?
No, we're close. And here's the thing. I'm not using cruise control right now on the way down, but I asked the truck to stay at 35 miles an hour using my brake pedal. And it seems like it's trying. Let's go to the diesel gauges.
It's good. Yeah, it's hanging about 1 mile an hour over, which is good for how these systems work.
Yeah.
And we're towing a trailer 20,500, so it's 20,500 is kind of a mid-range trailer.
Yeah,
for this truck.
but this truck, we're near its maximum, so we're maxing out this truck.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it's a 350. I thought they had more than that.
Well, but it's not a dually. Of course, dualies will have endless capability for towing. Right now, I'm using about 52% of my exhaust brake because it's a variable. Right?
Yes,
it's basically a valve.
Right.
And it's using the turbocharger.
It's nice to see Ford and Ram doing that. We're waiting for GM to jump on the boat with us.
Yes. So far, I set the speed. Are we going to count that as one brake? I guess we have to.
Okay. Well,
that's one.
One.
Yes, because I used the brake to set the speed. The truck was accelerating without me doing that.
Yeah.
And now it's following what I asked it to do without.
That's great. I can keep track of this. One.
Just one.
What are we towing with today?
Well, actually, this would not be possible without Alan and our friends at Denver East Machinery. So check them out using the link in the description below. They provided this trailer. This is a 35-footer.
Yes.
Diamond C.
Dovetail. It's awesome.
It's pretty cool. Heavy duty. And also 2 machines for snow removal.
That's a machine?
Yes.
If you want to stand on a machine, not sit on a machine while you're plowing your snow, that's probably a good thing.
It's for sidewalks. So they rent these machines or you could buy them.
Yeah.
I love this load. Altogether, it's about 20,500 pounds.
Right.
And the tongue weight, I specifically loaded so we didn't come close to maximum payload.
Which is 3,900?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I wanted that cushion because it's a modified truck.
Yeah, and this liquid spring thing, I'm actually impressed by it. Last time I was trying to understand it, But this one, you know, it actually has the sensor, so we can handle better on curves, switchbacks, quick turns, maneuvers, the trailer, braking, everything.
And leveling.
Levels out.
Leveling, yes.
It makes all that better. I really like this system, and that's all it is. It's the one giant shock piston, whatever. There's no coils.
It's a piston, yeah.
There's no shock absorbers. It's an amazing system.
So it's a special system, and like you were telling me, and like the guys at Elevation tell me, is it used to be used and still being used on like ambulances.
Yeah, it's big on most. Yeah, I say the majority of ambulances in North America use it. Canada and U.S. And, you know, I know Ford's doing it in the assembly line. Well, actually, when they take it off there and give it to the aftermarket guys, they're selling a lot of the ambulances right from the factory with this on that same system. And it's great. It's taken over. It's on RVs everywhere. When they get the price down, we'll all be able to have one. I'll be so excited because this is great. And I like the idea of the 350 because this gives you a high output diesel and all that. And then, you know, it's single rear wheel. You don't have to modify the bed. You don't have to modify the wheels you use because it was a dually 550.
Yeah.
This one, it's quick, easy to go. It's got a cool winch with 16,000 pound winch.
Yeah, 16.5.
Yeah, we can pull these semis out of the ditch and they go the off-road ramp. Or
exactly. Or we can hook into their trailer and pull them in.
Hey, yeah, we can draft that way.
All right, well, let's see how it does at the very bottom of the mountain.
Yeah, we're still at one brake application.
I know, it's kind of boring, but boring is good, right?
Yeah, I mean, I wish we could go faster, but if you say that's what we got to do because we're over 26 or whatever, I guess.
We have CDLs. There's a sign that says over 26,000.
Yeah.
You have to be at 35 miles an hour.
Well, I'm not worried because you're going to get the ticket, not me.
Yes.
I love this liquid spring on this truck from Elevation. This is so cool. You think about all the things you could do with it and how it handles better and how it doesn't squat, how it doesn't nosedive braking. But look up here. Now, Andre's lowering it, but you see, you can raise and lower the truck in any place you want to be. It doesn't have a setting where you have to go to. So you can lower this here to give more clearance because this is a nice gooseneck. There's no deck in the way, so you're not going to run into your truck. But you're always concerned about the height here. But if you really were concerned, you could actually lower the truck and pull the gooseneck coupler down and give yourself more clearance here. So many advantages to this liquid spring. I'm just tickled to death about it. And I want one really bad. I just can't afford it yet. But it is so cool, so useful for towing. Even though this is an off-road truck, it's an excellent towing truck because of the way all this stuff works. What does this say? What's the RPMs?
33.
It's just like locked on.
It locked on and it just stayed there.
Yeah. This is good. This is cool. Well, that's boring, but it's cool how it works. See, that gives you that confidence, you know, pulling with something like this. It's almost all automatic. You just kind of steer the darn thing.
And you know what? The steering is easy. The ride is comfy.
Yeah.
One brake application, guys. So we set it at the very top and forget it. Set it and forget it.
Yeah, that's a motto.
All right, we're closing down.
Are you flooring it? Or
woo! Yeah! All right, get ready for the uphill. So that's going to be interesting because we're a little bit heavier. This truck is a little bit heavier than stock. It's got big bumpers, winches.
Oh,
so
yes.
What if temperatures are going to be an issue, maybe?
I could be.
What if we could start to overheat?
It'll be on the edge of what that engine wants to do. I guess we'll find out. But holy cow, I'll tell horsepower and torque later, but this is as big as it gets in a diesel pickup.
It's a leader right now.
It is.
It's a leader. What do you think? Isn't this beautiful front end?
Man, it's a cool bumper. Look at all the stuff on it. Well, tell me all about it.
So at Elevation Off-Grid, they actually build their own bumper. So they designed this. These toe points, these red ones, actually connect directly to the frame, and then the bumper also mounts to that location. But the whole bumper just kind of can be taken off or on, and there's a big winch like you were talking about, 16.5 thousand pounds of winching capacity.
That bumper matches the truck really well. I mean, it lines up. The lines are beautiful on it.
Same color, too.
Yeah, look at all these lights. Such cool lights.
You want me to turn them on?
Yeah. Wow. How about the middle one? Oh, there, look at that. That is so cool. I love the lights.
So as always, we're going to start at 35.
Okay.
And I'm going to nail the throttle, okay?
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, let's see what it does at 60 miles an hour here.
And we're also using the Banks Data Monster gauge to record what's happening, so we'll have good numbers.
Good.
And let's see when we hit 60. Not quite there yet. Not quite there yet. And now,
24.
24 seconds.
Yes.
So
That's kind of slow, isn't it?
it's slowish, but we're kind of maxed out.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, we are hauling maximum weight.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
So yeah, this is definitely not the quickest acceleration that we've ever had.
Well, this has got pretty good payload. Was it 29? 39?
3900. Yes, that was kind of the factory setting,
Yeah.
factory rating. And also this truck was born with a 331 rear axle locking differential,
Wow.
which is pretty like an efficiency
It is a
axle.
fuel mileage axle.
Yeah.
Well, that, we need lower gears. This is a 10-speed. You could have put any gear you wanted in there, and it still would have taken off.
Well, but I like efficiency. I took this truck with Roman and Tommy and Nathan to Moab, and I got the best efficiency when compared to a Cummins or a Duramax. So
Really?
this truck is actually can be quite efficient on a highway.
Well, that's good. That's good because Ford loves to go to overdrive as fast as it can.
Those higher gears.
Yeah, it's amazing. how
Right now
fast
I'm in
it gets.
7th. I'm direct drive.
I know. I'm surprised you're not in 10th. That's what Ford does.
This engine bay is full of 6.7 liters of diesel goodness.
Holy cow! And it takes up every square inch under the hood. If you can get high enough to see it. Of course, we can lower this down to the ground too. And see
Well,
what
do you
we're
want me to
doing.
lower it?
Yeah, if I want to check oil, I would lower the truck, and this one does it.
Well, how much power do we have?
Oh my gosh, we have 500 horsepower, 1,200 pound-feet of torque. That's where it all counts, is that torque.
And a heavy-duty
And
10-speed automatic.
Heavy-duty 10-speed.
Yes.
They're done really well with this. This is amazing.
So this powertrain is stock. So there was nothing tuned or retuned or reflashed. So this powertrain is stock. So we're trying to get an even run with this particular truck.
Well, that's so cool because, how much more than 1,200 pounds of torque do you really need? But, oh well.
I think this is plenty.
We're in the semi section now, 1,200 pounds.
So right now at 2,000 RPM, it's just purring up the mountain. Not a lot of drama.
Yeah.
Also, the suspension is working great. Oh, but look, my temperatures are climbing. 217, 219 on the coolant and 219 on the transmission. And the fan just kicked on.
Did we get all that from the launch with your wide open throttle?
No, it just started. So the heat is building up. It's really building up right now.
What's our outside temperature?
35 degrees. So it's a really hot January day in the Rockies.
That's a nice temperature. Actually, if the wind's not blowing, 35 is not bad. But why is it heating up? I guess it still has a little ways to go. We're not in the red.
Well, we're using a lot of power.
Yeah.
By the way, ambient air density, we started at 75% of sea level. Now it's already dropped to 73. So we're losing almost 27% of air density, which means we have less oxygen, which means the engine is using that turbocharger right as fast as it can to get the power. Also, might boost about 27 psi of boost.
Well, that's
a lot.
Yeah, it's got to be close to the end.
Ooh, it's warming up. The fan is back on.
Well, keep wide open throttle and see what blows up.
I am wide open right now.
Okay.
All right, do you want to measure the sound of the cabin while we're climbing?
Because it says quiet. I must say that. I like the sound. Even with the fan, even with everything else going on.
To make it fair, hold on, don't do it yet. I'm going to close the sunroof. Okay.
It's bouncing from 59 to 61, so you can call it 60, which is very good.
Yeah, anything under 70 decibels while towing heavy would be really amazing.
Yeah, and that's fan, and that's 4,000 RPM. What's our RPM?
Well, right now we're 2,500 RPM.
Oh, we're just starting out. So it's interesting, when you got good competition, you get better products. What's that noise?
It says I'm using a lot of DEF.
Oh, really?
I was half before when we left. The tank was half full. And now it's telling me to think about replacing DEF fluid.
Holy cow, how big's the tank?
So DEF fluid, this tank is about 6 gallons.
Oh, okay.
And then my fuel tank is about 34 gallons. So that's kind of where it's at. I went to the truck stop to get a weight. So with us and all our gear, truck and trailer, 30,280 was gross combined weight. The trailer axles were about 18.4, and which means we're getting very, very close to a gross vehicle weight rating of this truck. The payload on this truck from the factory from Ford is 3910, and the gross vehicle weight rating is 12,000. Right there. And like I said in the previous videos, when you're modding your truck with bigger tires, you have to have an additional cushion. So we came super close to this, but I did want to max this truck out to the fullest. I'm in the fast lane.
All right.
I'm pushing it.
We are in the, we're going 51 miles an hour to fast lane.
Well, I'm passing a Penske truck, for a 1-ton truck. Well, of course, this is loaded almost to the max.
Right.
But the suspension, this liquid spring suspension, doesn't care because it's really meant for a heavier truck, right? It's meant for a 550.
Yeah.
And they put it on the smaller 350 chassis.
Well, I think it's great. It keeps you level, does all that stuff, and we're not squatting from the trailer. And I think it's such a good, safe system they have going on here. And it helps with acceleration because you're not squatting and you're not nose diving under braking.
Right. My oil temp is 235. My trans temp is 221. My coolant is 214. I'm still using 24 pounds of boost and trying to navigate traffic. All right, we're reaching the top. Are you ready with your time?
I am ready. I even found the button. There's the button. I found it.
Okay, so I've been full throttle for a while now. Are you ready to cut it?
I'm ready.
Cut it now. What's the time?
8.26.
8 minutes and 26 seconds?
Yes.
And my MPG is showing at 2.7.
Really?
2.7.
Well, that's nothing to write home about.
No. So here's what I'm thinking. To get better performance, because 8 minutes would be a perfect run.
Yes.
To get better performance, I think we need to regear this truck.
Exactly. This is 355, 373, one of those that would have stayed in the power band better.
A little bit better, yeah.
Yeah. So that you're right. I totally concur with that. And it's I don't know if it would accept that it would probably would not change fuel mileage. So it would have been in the higher gears anyway.
And also, yeah, and that's interesting. We're gonna look at the data at the Banks gauge.
Yeah.
Because the fan was running most of the climb, right?
Yes.
The engine fan.
That seems to be normal now.
So if the powertrain was getting a little bit too warm, I mean, there was no obvious error messages, but if it was getting too warm, it could have derated itself a little bit, right? So it wasn't.
Yeah.
So it wasn't putting out maximum horsepower and torque. So what's the verdict on this truck? Let's start with the downhill performance first.
Okay, downhill performance. One brake application?
Yes.
How much better could it be? That's because we just started coming out of the tunnel and it shot out of the Eisenhower and there it did. Hit the first brake.
Yes, so that was really good, especially because I never use cruise control, right? Because sometimes with some heavy trucks we use cruise control.
Right.
But the system itself as a whole was so easy to use because I was just steering.
Yeah, exhaust brake did it all in the automatic mode. That's so awesome.
Yes, so that was beautiful. It maintained our speed, which was 35 miles per hour, beautifully. So full stars for that.
Yes, 10, 20 stars, yes. That's great. I love that part. Okay, go to the next one.
Up the hill. So I'm a little bit disappointed because I really wanted that perfect 8-minute run, but I have to remember that we're maxed out on weight.
Well, it was 8 minutes and 26 seconds.
Yes.
So it was close. It was very good. And we were maxed out on the weight, so it's like a max Ike. What's that called? Super Ike?
Super Ike.
Yeah, we did a Super Ike, so I can't complain about that. I think it was very close, and I don't know what to compare it to.
Because it's not apples to apples. We did a dually with a different trailer. We did a F-550 with a different trailer. So I think it could be improved with a different rear axle ratio.
So maybe a half a star off. Maybe.
No, maybe just an eighth of a star off.
Of a star.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, features and technology. I think this truck is wonderful.
Oh, technology, yes.
Cameras everywhere. Brake controller, of course, is included. Mirrors are wonderful, so all that tech is great.
Yes, indeed. And visibility is wonderful over the hood. I like that.
How comfortable is it?
Well, yeah, there's all the 10 stars again, whatever it takes, because it was smooth, it was quiet, it was wonderful. And yeah, I mean, this is not like a normal 350 single rear wheel, because it got a wedge underneath the springs on the back, and it makes the ride rougher, and it angles you up. This didn't need that, it levels itself, but it rode so much better than a normal 350 single rear wheel. I was impressed. I loved the ride.
I agree. And overall MPG and range, well, we didn't do a range test on this load, but I can tell you the gas tank, the diesel tank, is 34 gallons. It needs to be bigger, I think.
Yes.
Because when you're hauling heavy like this, more fuel is always better.
It's a trailering truck. Why would you not want bigger tanks? Yes, I totally agree.
So overall, really great truck. Still over 4 out of 5 stars for sure.
At least
4.5 out of 5 stars. And finally, the price.
Okay, I'm not proud. You tell them the price.
Okay, so it starts at $80,000 because, like I said, this was a Lariat F-350 with a lot of options and a high output engine. Then the suspension installed cost about $25,000, and then the other mods, wheels, tires, bumpers, winch, integration, all the other work they did. But window tinting, it's another 15. So 80 plus 40 is 120 grand. It's quite expensive truck, but at least it's not that $150,000 or $175,000 that you could spend on some other big rigs.
Well, yeah, and you compare that to like what a lot of these loaded trucks that don't have the suspension stuff on it, they're getting over 100,000, maybe 110. Yeah. So you compare the two, and it's not a bad value. It's just expensive value. But if you got the money, you can't get a better truck than that for towing. I don't know about off-road. You did that, but for towing, I think it's fantastic.
All right, well, thanks for joining us. Check out store.mrtruck.com.
Yeah, store.mrtruck.com. You got it.
And otfl.com for more automotive news and truck accessories.
And it's not snowing. What's up with that? Super Ikes are always on blizzards.